is up, Sneeples? Part The MistVeil pre-release is finally here, and we have the primer to get you ready so you can go there and take it all down. But mostly you can go there and have some fun. So let's get into how we can build a deck for each class to have a successful pre-release. But first, do you like this shirt? Well, you can get them at fleshandbaubles.com. You can even use our promo code SNEEP for 15% off your entire order. They got shirts, they got keychains, and they got more to come. So check them out, fleshandbaubles.com. Let's get back to the video. All right, this time in this pre-release, we have 8 packs. So we have 8 packs to look through instead of the normal 6. And we probably, unless your store is cool, they probably don't give you more time. So we gotta be really efficient with our card pulls. So whenever you open your pack, go ahead and start sorting. Sort them by the classes. So you got your assassin, your illusionist, your ninja, as well as generic and mystics. Go ahead and put those all in 5 different piles, and then keep your majestics, these are possibly your bombs, keep them off to the side so we can look at them individually to determine, maybe what class we're leading into. Now let's get into what card we want to see to build an assassin deck. When building our assassin decks, we want to make sure we have a good amount of stealth cards, but also a good amount of attack reacts. And 2 attack reacts that are common are very, very good. And this is Hiss and Venomous Bite. These are common cards that you'll take in the red and blues and probably even the yellows, as they're just that good. So these are the attack reactions we're really, really looking for when we play new. Now, some of the stealth cards that we're looking at is the Art of Desire cards, particularly the Body and Mind. This is the red and blue. Allowing you to draw a card and gain life is actually really good, especially when you can give that attack Slither, which is the Go Again attack react. Other cards we want to look for is Bonds of Attraction and Double Trouble. Both these cards are just very good, solid value cards that look to banish multiple cards from your opponent. This is going to be very crucial to our game plan as new. Finally, any of the other stealth cards will do pretty well, particularly Desires of Flesh, as that one is probably, unless you're facing an Enigma, it probably has more of a chance to hit and gain you life. But one card you're actually going to want to look for is Pick to Pieces. And this is because this can help you against Enigma, which is not a very great matchup for you as new. So you want to be able to allow yourself to have some cards to help, put the tempo in your favor, and Pick to Pieces can definitely do that. When looking at bombs for Assassin, looking for Bonds of Agony and Persuasive Prognosis. These are cards that can disrupt your opponent by taking cards out of their hands. The other card, Just a Nick, is very much sneaky surprise damage that can help you just clear out the game and just win through damage alone. So these are the bombs we're looking at when we look at Assassin. Now the equipment is also kind of bomby. The Arousing Wave and Undertow Stilettos both allow you to have an attack react into your hand. Also, it counts as an attack react. So if you have a card like Double Trouble, by activating your equipment, it counts as attack react, and then getting that Slither or Fang Strike is another attack react. So it allows you to get the double buff from Double Trouble. Very, very good equipment. Obviously, if you can get the Heirloom of Snakehide, that's also very good. Now let's talk about some of the mystics we're looking for as Assassin. When it comes to the mystics, you're not looking for any particular certain cards, but you are looking for some certain transcend cards, because in new, you want to play anywhere from 2 to 4 transcend cards. So Path Well Traveled, Passover, and Grain That Tip the Scale are all 3 very, very good for Assassin. Something that really works with your game plan already. You're going to want these transcend cards because part of New's plan is to use the Chi to use her ability to play from your opponent's banish zone. So these are transcend cards you want to look out for, but you can really play any, as long as you're playing about 2 to 4, I would say. Past that, try to have, New doesn't need as much blues as other characters, so I would say try to have anywhere from 8 to 12, maybe 8 to 10 even. Most of your stuff costs 0. You do want about 1 blue every hand. And then, having a little bit more blue is fine for when you face Enigma, so you can come in with 2 Mistblades. So everything kind of can work out if you have more blues, but she is probably the one that needs the least amount of blue. So you don't have to worry to try to fill up those blue spots as much. Now, let's get into the one that needs the most blues, and that's Enigma. When building an Enigma deck, you're going to want to really build the deck around her weapon. That is to bring out auras that can attack with their ward value. So ward 3, it comes in for 3, ward 4 comes in for 4, but also if it has a +1 counter on it, can gain go again. So we're going to look to try to maximize our value through this. And so what we're looking for is big ward 3, ward 4, stuff that can just come in for big damage, but also because it has ward, block and absorb big damage. So especially when we look at the instant cards, Haze Shelter, Waxing Spectre, and Waning Vengeance are all 3 very good cards, especially in red, that will attack for big. And guess what? Waxing Spectre has a +1 counter on it, so that means it can have go again. And that's another thing we want. So Waxing Spectre, a common that we are very much looking for, because this is a very, very good common. But you are going to want to find cards that also put +1 counters on your aura. So that's Astral Etchings, Spectral Manifestations, and Haze Spectre. These are all very good cards. All right, now let's talk about the bombs. The best one, which is Manifestation of Mirror Guy, that's an absolute terror for your opponent. But her legendary card is also very good. Her Sacred Art card is a tempo changer for sure. That's another bomb. We have 10,000 Year Reunion, Rage Spectre, and Restless Coalescence. These are all very much just big, majestic bombs that if you open some, there's a good chance you might lean towards Enigma and play Enigma. And then when we come to her equipment, you have the Rabbit Ward. That's a very good piece of equipment. Uphold Tradition puts a counter on an aura for you, so that solves that problem sometimes. Very good piece of arms. Her headpiece has ward, that's just pretty good. So her equipment is also very good, but particularly if you get the Uphold Tradition, that's going to be another good sign that you can play Enigma. Now, when we're talking about the Mystics, we are going to be looking for blue block 3s. That's really what we're looking for with the Mystics. We're probably not going to be playing like any individual Mystic cards out there, but we do just want to block with them. So definitely look for the block 3 cards. We do want a lot of blues out there because we want to be able to block with our blues, but also play our instant speed wards so that we can afford it. We need some blues. Also, a lot of our stuff like Haze Shelter needs blues to work. So blue is really what we need with this deck. So we're looking to try to get anywhere from, I would say 13 to 16 blues. So half your deck, you want to try to be blues. You can even make it a little bit more. You just need to make sure you have a good amount of reds so you can at least pressure some damage. Now, some of these blues should definitely be your Transcend cards, because Enigma's ability is very good with her game plan to just defend herself while attacking with spectral shields. And that is what she allows her to do. So definitely look to get a lot of Transcend cards. 6 is a pretty good number. I would say, anywhere from 5 to 7 is kind of where you want to be. You don't want too many, you do want to have some blocks, but ultimately her ability is very good. It's going to be very needed in order to keep those auras coming with the +1 counters. That is Enigma. Now let's get into our ninja, Zen. With Zen, we want to be making tigers. We want to try to make a tiger every single turn, and this is because our staff pumps up a tiger. So as long as we can make a tiger, we can at least have it come in for 1 because of our staff. What we're doing is looking for cards like Harmony of the Hunt. It is a common, it costs 1. This is a perfect resource curve that we want, as 1 resource will go to the Harmony of the Hunt and the other 2 will go to the Tiger Taming Kakara. That is the most ideal, because then we are coming in for 3, 2, and 1. 6 damage total, divided 3 different ways, which as you can imagine is a pain in the ass for Enigma. The other cards we can look at to make tigers is Tiger Form Incantation. This is another common that makes a tiger but also pumps it up. So this is a very, very good card. It also blocks for 3, so already it's super good. It may not be an attack itself, but it does represent another attack. Basically having the same resource curve, just instead coming in for 2 and then 4. Now, some of the ninja cards we're also looking to make tigers is Flex Claws, which has on the red a breakpoint, and then Biting Breeze. These are cards that have on-hit ability to make a tiger, and this is going to make your opponent block. And this is good, as you do want to take cards out of your opponent's hands so that you don't receive so much on their turn, so you can still keep your full grip and come right back at them. Zin's very good at doing that. The other cards we were going to want to look for is combo cards, and there's quite a bit of them, but the She Unleashed and Pouncing She are very good combo cards, especially when we are pairing them with tigers. So as long as we have a good amount of tiger production, then we can have some pumps with our staff and then finish it up with a combo, especially the She Unleashed. That is a 2 for 7 at the end. Very, very good. Now, when it comes to the equipment, Strides of Reprisal is one that we really want to see because this blocks and makes us a tiger. Very, very good to have. As well as the Mask of Wizened Whiskers. This can be particularly relevant when it comes down to the late game. When you only have a few cards left, you can put that Pouncing She in the bottom of your deck and maybe you draw it in the next turn. Or if you are able to use Zin's ability with a Chi, then you can grab that combo card that you put on the bottom with Mask of Wizened Whiskers. So these are things to kind of look out for. When you're looking at the Majestic Bombs, you're looking for Taste of Tail, you're looking for Two-Fin Claw, and you're looking for the Sacred Art. These are all very, very good cards that can not only either make tigers or combo with tigers or just, pump tigers. There's a ton of things that just work with these cards. Now let's get into the Mystics for Zen. With Zen, I value the Mystics probably more than any other hero. And that is because these Mystics I'm looking for are the attack Mystics. Because when we get to our second cycle, happens quite a bit with this set, then we're going to look to have these blues come back, but also be able to get additional damage. So when we look at Droplet, Rising Tide, and Spillover, these are cards that are going to allow us to get that extra oomph that we may need to keep presenting big damage. Because we will probably also have like a blue Biting Breeze or a blue Flex or something that we'll put first and then follow it up with one of these cards to get that extra bump. And that's what we're looking for there. I'm not too concerned with the block 3 blues. I don't mind them, especially the one that pumps up my other blue. But the other ones I'm not needing. I definitely want more of the attacks, as that's what I plan to do later on. However, block 3 is just inherently good, so that's also not a bad card to have. Now, another very unique thing with Zen is that I don't really put too much value in the Transcend cards. Zen's ability is pretty good, but it's only good if you have like with a She Unleashed or a bomb, basically. Otherwise, like, I don't really need to use Zen's ability to go grab a combo card. And so I would rather have a card that I can attack with or block, and the Transcend cards just don't do either. So with Zen, I try to have either 0 to maybe 2 Transcends cards max. You definitely just want to go and do ninja things, and don't need to get a QT sort of turn. Zen can just present massive damage. And that's Zen for you. Now let's go over some generics and some Mystic Bombs. Alright, Mystic Bombs, there's 3. There's Attune with Cosmic Vibrations, Cosmic Awakening, and Levels of Enlightenment. These are really the 3 bombs that you want to have. They can go in any sort of deck, and that's pretty nice. Cosmic Awakening, you probably are going to want more with the Enigma deck than anything else, but if you do have a Cosmic Awakening, try to get it to where you at least have 3 Transcend cards within your deck, if not more. Now, the other Mystic cards that can go in any deck is the equipment pieces. They have very good equipment pieces, the Mystic ones. When we look at these sky equipments, these are all very good to have. Just flipping over and preventing one is exactly what you want to do. Now the Aqua Lapse and Waves of Aquamarine are just super good, so I like those cards as well. If you're Zen, you probably don't need the Aqua Lapse, but the other two heroes don't mind them, that's for sure. Waves of Aquamarine is just good. The extra little pump, you're gonna have to watch out for that, so keep that in mind when you're playing your opponent. If they have a face down arm piece, it could be a +1 pump, so don't let that get you. Now let's talk about generics. There's not as many generics as we've seen in the past set, but there is some good ones that we would try to basically play in every single hero, and one of them is Battlefront Bastion. I like this in Rainbow, I really do. I think this card does get good block value with this set. Oftentimes you can't just block alone and just block out an attack that comes in for 2 and then save yourself 1 extra damage later on down the line. That feels good, that's blocking efficiently. So I do like them all, and then they're just big attacks, especially the red and yellow. Those are just big attacks to come in with. Blanche does quite a bit in this set. I think I would only draft the red and yellows of hers, but particularly the red can be very annoying for your opponent to deal with. And then Fact-Finding Mission, I only really like the red on this one, but the on-hit's not the, it's nice, it's not super neat, it's not a CNC or anything, but it's just really a big attack. And even when I'm playing a deck like Zen, I'm totally fine playing the Fact-Finding Mission. Cards like Nimbleism and Nimble Strike, this is more for New and Zen. If you're Enigma, you're not going to really want to play those cards. Wounding Blow, this is a card that I think every hero should be playing. The Emissaries are 0/4s. Every hero should be playing these. Water the Seeds, really only a Zen card, and it's kind of okay. I wouldn't say it's a must-have. And then finally, Evasive Leap. Definitely a good sideboard card for when you're facing against New. It's going to be helpful to stop some of her attack reactions with a defensive reaction. Particularly the red is, I think, the only one I really want to have. So these are all the generics. They're generally pretty good, but there's not a lot. So you're not going to see a big pile for the generics. That is pre-release primer. This is how to build your deck. Now, if you want to see the play styles of each hero, or even what I do when I get a sealed pool, we have that Patreon. You can go check that out. And I also want to give a special thanks to all of our Patreons right here. Thank you so very much, and keep on fabbing.